Alright, hello my lovely Scorpios, how are you? How are you really? Guys, I apologize sincerely. I'm just now realizing that for like a month now I've been forgetting to do y'all's reading in particular. I was wondering like why I was missing one zodiac sign out of these like past 2 weeks of me uploading and being back in action with the tarot. And it's because I've went like a while without y'all's, okay? So I apologize for that. I will be giving you guys a bonus reading. I'm going to attempt to make this one an hour-long reading, but I got my daughters with me, so I don't know if I'll be able to do the full hour or not, but I will get you guys an extra one out there, okay, to kind of make up for it. Now, before the camera came on, and actually this morning when I first woke up, I heard the saying in my head, be careful of your ex. Their love is tricky, sneaky, and manipulative, okay? So to any Scorpio who that resonates with, okay, just take it only as it resonates, okay? I always share whatever comes to me with whatever zodiac sign that I do, because 9 times out of 10 it normally resonates with somebody. So yeah, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and dive into your tarot reading. Hopefully we get a very good message out that's encouraging, motivating, or a reminder of how good you're doing. For some of you, it could come in the form of a heads up, okay, or a confirmation, okay. All right. The other zodiac signs, I'm making their videos like less than 30 minutes. So I'm going to probably do you guys 2 videos, okay? They have to pay for their extended and bonus reading, but I'm going to do you guys free because of the way that I've kind of been skipping over y'all's energy lately, okay? So, what do we have for Scorpio, okay? Alright, now we're getting into it. Alright, let's see. Okay, I have the Hierophant, we have the Strength card, okay? Some of you could be working on sticking better to like a routine, okay? Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, so with Pentacles. Okay, what else? The Star card in reverse. Okay, the 10 of Wands tried to come out on me. Hold on. Okay, what else do we have? Alright. So, let me get these cards together here. Okay, so yeah, okay, so Scorpio, if this is like relationship or marriage, I see why that saying came to me, okay? Because for a lot of you guys, you may have already experienced where like your wish fulfillment was to be with someone or for something to work out with the person, but there was like a delay or it just didn't happen at all, okay? And it's almost as if you may have made a promise to yourself to kind of respect yourself or like walk away or put that boundary down. It's like you're trying to maintain this this boundary that you have, which the boundary is, you know, if you can't treat me right, if you can't love me properly, if you can't stay consistent, if you can't do what you're supposed to do, I'm just going to have to remove myself from this situation, okay? And this doesn't even have to just be romantically. It could be with family, okay? It could be a toxic family member or a friend, okay? But Scorpios, it's almost as if it's kind of hard for you to, it's almost like it's your mind against your heart here. It's like your mind is like, okay, this person, they're not really putting in enough effort, or they're not consistent with you, whatever the case is. It has your mind like, okay, we shouldn't deal with this person. But it's almost as if with this death card in reverse, Scorpio, it's like your heart is like, you know, well, I really love this person, or, you know, maybe one day they'll change, you know. It's like the heart in you still has faith in this situation here. Well, yeah, so, and with this Two of Pentacles, Scorpio, it's like you're literally like fighting with yourself here. It's like, do I continue to keep this boundary up? Do I continue to move forward? Do I continue to tell this person no? Do I continue to distance myself? Or do I go back? Okay. And yeah, the Magician card in reverse, a lot of tarot readers like to consider this this energy very manipulative. Okay, so some of you could have been dealing with somebody who's very manipulative, and it's like you caught on to that, and you may have thought to yourself like, okay, I need to distance myself from you, you know. But, you know, like all of us humans who have tried to walk away from somebody who we see is no good for us, we still have this inkling feeling of, you know, or what if it does work out, or what if they do change, or what if, you know. So I'm gonna keep going, Scorpio, okay? Gonna keep going, okay? Oh, that came out really fast. Okay, hold on. Okay, so Scorpio, we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. Okay, so for a lot of you, yeah, you still have this love for this person, but it's like right now you have to downplay it, and it's almost, it's not like you're trying to be fake or phony, but it's more so that you're trying your hardest to protect yourself. Okay, you're trying your hardest to make sure that you don't get taken for granted again, or make sure that you're not, you know. So you're really having to make a head over heart decision here, but it's really hard because your love for this person is still here. You still want this, and you still, you know, but it's almost as if you are committed to success. That just came to me. You're committed to yourself, or committed to kind of taking the highway, or I don't know if I'm saying it the right way or not, but you know, like if you get into like an argument or somebody, and you like decide to be like the bigger person and step away from the situation before it gets worse, it's like that's what you're deciding to do here, Scorpio, you know, but you don't want to. And I can tell that because you have the Strength card right here, and the Strength card speaks of us having to muster up a lot of extra energy to perform a specific task. So what I'm seeing here, Scorpio, I see that it's taking everything in your body to continue to move forward. It's taking everything in your body not to contact this person. It's taking everything in your body not to go back. You're seriously fighting against yourself here, Scorpio, you know. And it's like half of you is like, well, I love this person, so I want to go back. But it's like that your intuition, the reminder in you is just like, well, do you remember what they put you through? Do you remember how they were, you know? So it's almost as if the only thing that holds you back from this person is the bad memories or the past, you know? It's like you have to constantly remind yourself. And a lot of you Scorpios, you know, this Star card in reverse, this really speaks of like, you know, like a dream that was like crushed, okay, or like a wish that was taken from you, you know. And a lot of you Scorpios, it's almost as if you had to literally like pick yourself up off the ground after this, or you're still in the process of doing that. And it's like you had to put on this mask that, you know, I'll never let this happen again, or I promise I won't go back, or I promise that, you know, I won't let anybody else treat me like this, you know. So it's like, in a way, it toughened you to where you can put down those boundaries, you know, and where you can be firm with people. you know. So it really taught you a lot about self-respect, self-honor, you know. And a lot of times when we have to learn those lessons, it comes in the form of people not treating us properly, for us to learn how we are needed to be treated. So it's like, I don't know why it just made me think about like if a child just got a whooping and the parent gets done whooping them, and the parent like walks out the room, and the child like hurried up and like picks themselves up and they're wiping away their tears so they can get ready to like go to school or something. It's like you really had to, or you're in the process of having to pick yourself up after this, you know, and you're trying your hardest to carry on with life. You're trying your hardest to remain committed to either your job or your passions or your hobbies. A lot of you guys could be like committing to taking better care of yourself, okay? Maybe you got more involved with your health, or maybe you've been more on top of like exercising or working out, okay? But it really looks like you're choosing a commitment outside of this person, okay? Or for a lot of you, it could be that you're trying to avoid the fact that you do still want a commitment from this person, you know. But I would just say, Scorpio, like how you feel is absolutely normal. Like even if this person like really hurt you, it's normal for that love to still be there. Because something that I've realized, and that I tell people but they really don't like to hear it, is if you loved somebody before and your love was genuine and your love was real, you are going to continue to love that person until you take your last breath. Even if you're with somebody else, even if you're happily married to somebody else, even if you're all the way in Dubai on a whole nother island, you're going to still carry this love with you wherever you go, if it was real. Now, if you're able to love a person, split up from them, and never love them again, that was not true love. So, Scorpio, what I'm seeing here with this Ace of Cups in reverse and with this Death card in reverse, you still have love for this person, but it's almost as if for some of you Scorpios, you could be downplaying that. And it could be that you're saying that to yourself so that you don't feel that pain so hard, so it doesn't sting so bad. Like, no, I never really loved that person anyway, you know, just trying to downplay it, you know. But here's the thing, Scorpio, if we're going to actually heal this wound, we have to admit that it's there. We have to admit that we've been scarred. We have to admit that we've been bruised. That's the only way we could truly heal. It's just like if you were like in the military or something, if you got stabbed, you can only receive care and attention if you actually look down and notice like, hey, I just got stabbed, you know, and you won't get the proper care that you need until you actually seek medical attention, you know, or let it be known like, hey, I'm hurting, you know. The only way that soldier would be able to have his wound taken care of is if he lets it be known that it's there. So to my Scorpios who, if you're downplaying this in hopes that it would help heal this wound, I know you don't want to hear this, and I love you, okay? But Scorpio, that's not gonna help. Because if you're covering this up, all that's gonna do is, like, once again with the stab wound, just imagine if you just slap a band-aid on it. You don't care for it, you don't take, you know, you don't clean it out, you don't put the peroxide on it, you don't, you know, you just slap the band-aid on it. It can't heal like that properly. I'll say that it won't heal properly. Because what if you need stitches, you know? So, really what it looks like, Scorpio, is that for some of you with this Hierophant card, you could be throwing yourself in work. You could be committing to like more work hours, committed to spending more time with family, committing to just really keeping yourself busy. I'll say that, especially with this High Priestess in reverse. High Priestess in reverse speaks of us not really listening to our intuition, Okay, now for my Scorpios, this could go 2 separate ways. Okay, I don't know if this means you're not listening to yourself when it comes to going back to this past person, or if it means that you're not listening to yourself in regards to having to heal this this wound that has been created. Okay, but to my Scorpios who if you're not listening to yourself in regards to this person of the past, I would just say that's normal, you know. I would say that's normal because our love is very powerful, you know, and even though we've seen how a person is, being that our love is so real and powerful, we're gonna still have that love, Scorpio. So it's okay for you to still desire them. It's okay for you to still care. It's okay. Okay, so I think that part is like absolutely normal. But I will say, Scorpio, if you're continuously putting yourself in the arms of a person who's constantly hurting you, to really be mindful of yourself and be very mindful of what you deserve. Okay? Alright, sorry y'all, I had to make my daughter a bottle. So if y'all see some little white specks on my fingers, just know that it's formula. But for a select few of you, you could be struggling with consistency at work. Like you may notice that your performance is being affected, or you may notice that you're slowing down, or you may notice that it's more difficult to do the things that you normally would like to do. Okay, and honestly, it's all about this heart space right here. Okay, Scorpio, because if you're not properly healing this, it's like you're basically like walking around with poison inside of your body. So the energy that you used to have to perform well on your job, that energy is like now poison, you know. It's a very dark energy. So if you are noticing that lately you've been more sluggish or like less consistent, or just not performing your best, I'll say that it's all about this heart space. Okay, and the only way for us to confront this heart space and actually heal it, Scorpio, is if we're honest with ourselves about what's really going on with it. But Scorpio, if you're just telling yourself like, yeah, it's fine, everything's cordial, you know, I just can't deal with them no more, the love is gone, it is what it is, you know, it's impossible to heal our heart space if we're telling ourselves that nothing's wrong with it. You know, and of course we're all adults, so you have that right to continue to think like, you know, I'm fine, like it is what it is, this ain't bothering me no more. You have every right to, you know, think that way. But the thing is, Scorpio, with that, the consequences of that type of mindset is because you're telling yourself you're okay, that means you're not confronting this. That means you're not healing it. And if you're not confronting it, if you're not healing it, well, this pain is just going to continue to linger around. This poison is just going to continue to stir around in your body, you know. And I don't know if y'all notice or not, but stress and depression, it kills more people than cancer does. Okay, so that's why I'm really big on healing and confronting our pain and stuff like that, because when we don't, Scorpio, it literally poisons our bloodstream. That's when high blood pressure kicks in, high cholesterol, depression, anxiety. Like, we just notice all of these, just our body just starts to disintegrate whenever we are not okay internally. It's almost as if like when we're carrying hatred or anger or grief and sorrow, like if we don't do anything with those emotions and anything with those symptoms, all it does is like progress to the rest of our body. You know, I don't know if y'all ever watched the movie Moana or not, but in Moana, her heart was stolen from her. And in this case, you know, right here, Scorpio, a lot of you may feel like cold-hearted or like your heart was stolen in this situation. Okay, because you had basically like a dream that was crushed, or a wish or a hope that was basically taken from you, you know. And in the movie Moana, whenever her heart was taken out, it slowly started to eat away at the land of Tafiti. Tafiti was a very beautiful island, very blooming, everything was blossoming, but because her heart was stolen, all the crops started dying. The fish were, I think the fish in the nearby area started to die. It just got really bad, Scorpio, okay? And I hate to use a children's film to kind of, you know, put this in words, but the movie Moana is very on point, and if y'all have not watched it, y'all seriously should, okay? But when we are hurting, Scorpio, and we don't do anything with that, all it does is travel, okay? So this pain, it doesn't just stick in your heart space. It goes to your lungs, your kidneys, your liver, your brain. It goes to everything, you know. And people wonder where depression comes from, or where anxiety and stuff comes from. It comes from traumatic situations like this that we try to just get up and carry on from. You know, it comes from situations that hurt us, or situations that really anger us, and we just tell ourselves like it's fine, you know, I just, you know, carry on with my life, you know. And that's perfect to say, but just know the consequences of that, Scorpio, okay? So yeah, we're gonna keep going, Scorpio, okay? All right, what else do we have for Scorpio? All right, Scorpio. So, also out of nowhere, I just got the I just had it in my mind, Scorpio, to my Scorpios who, if you have been working out a lot or exercising a lot and eating well, you know, getting your body together, taking nice vitamins, that's really good, and I'm very proud of you, okay? But this right here, Scorpio, if you're not doing anything about this, you know, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of having a good diet, okay? All right, so we have the Five of Cups in reverse, okay? And we also have the Six of Wands in reverse, okay? So, yeah, a lot of you Scorpios, it's almost as if, yeah, this Five of Cups in reverse, this speaks of like the slower process of letting this situation go, which is absolutely normal, Scorpio, okay? It's absolutely normal, okay? And with the Six of Wands in reverse, yeah, it just kind of pinpoints the disappointment that you felt after this situation here, okay? And yeah, you just really wanted this to work out, and I really do see that, okay? But something that I've learned from I really forgot his name, but he's a he's like a motivational speaker and a spiritual leader, but he was saying that when we get into relationships and marriages, we have to understand that there is never a guaranteed success. And it's only like that because it involves another person. And at any given moment, this person has the right to change their mind. They have a right to, you know, want to deal with somebody else, you know. And that just really changed my view on relationships and marriages, because a lot of us, we get in these relationships and we automatically think like, since I love this person, it's gonna work, you know, or since they're saying they love me, they're gonna always do what's right. But the harsh reality is that no amount of love equals guaranteed, okay? I've seen people claim that they love people and still, you know, do things they're not supposed to do. So, you know, the love could be there, but it doesn't guarantee 100% successful relationship or marriage, you know. So yeah, but I do see here, Scorpio, that you did have high hopes that it would work out, you know, and nothing is wrong with that, you know. But something that I'm learning now, which I really learned this from my mom, like, not to get your hopes up, you know. If it ends up being successful, okay, great, you know. But if not, just know that that's okay, you know. But of course it's gonna still hurt. Of course that pain, you know, is gonna be there. You're human, you know. We're only human, you know. But, you know, if you're saying to yourself, you know, well, this just didn't work out, so I'll just or throw myself in work, or I'll just throw myself into my passions, or I'll just, you know, exercise more, eat more. It looks like, Scorpio, you're working on yourself. But what are you doing about this right here? Okay? That's my main focus for you guys. Okay? And also with this Hierophant card, this actually speaks of like religious matters. Okay, so for some of you, you could be praying more, you could be diving into spirituality, or going to church more. Okay, getting more in touch with the universe, and that's actually really good. Okay, but I would say that's really good. But my focus for you all is your heart space. Okay, because with this Death card in reverse is letting me know that you haven't fully put to bed this situation. Okay, you might have carried on physically, but emotionally, Scorpio, that pain is still there, that anger is still there, that disappointment is still there. Okay, and it will be up to you to you know, really do what you have to do to heal this. Because here's the thing, Scorpio, if your heart space is not healed, everything else around you is going to be affected. Your relationship with your family, your next relationship with the next person, you know, your relationship with your co-workers, everything gets affected when our heart space is not okay. You know, and that's once again, prime example in the movie Moana. Her heart was stolen, so instead of being Tafiti, who was very beautiful and blossoming and very nurturing, Taka had manifested, and it was Tafiti, but it was the half of her that was affected by her heart being stolen. You know, when we're not okay, that's when we become more agitated, more angry, more snappy, more like less tolerant, more bitter, more mean, more distant with people. You know, everything about us get affected when we are not okay in here. Okay, so that's why I myself personally am really big on confronting how I feel, because I care about the people around me, and I know to fully take care of the people around me and interact with them and respect them how I need to, I have to be okay emotionally. If I'm not okay emotionally, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be snappy with my family members, or I'm going to be more agitated with my daughters. And I don't want that. I want to treat the people around me properly, you know, with the love that they deserve. So for me to do that, I have to be okay within. I have to be at peace within myself. You know, how can I be loving to anybody if I'm carrying around anger in my heart? You know, it'll probably work out temporarily, but eventually my true colors would show, which is that I'm an angry person, or an agitated person, or a bitter person, you know. So our heart space, Scorpio, is much more important than people think. A lot of people think that, you know, if you just tuck it away, everything will be fine. But no, everything about you gets affected from that point forward. If you've experienced something traumatic, and if it made you feel some type of way, and you didn't confront that feeling and why you felt like that and how it's affecting your behavior today towards the people around you, you know, it's kind of like the rappers that we hear today when they talk about killing and shooting and gang banging and all of this. If you sit down with them in an interview, 9 times out of 10, something happened to them that affected their heart space, and now they're very angry people, very violent people, very aggressive people. And it's not because they want to be that way, it's because their behavior is being poisoned and affected by their heart space. Okay, each of us, how we interact with people is a representation of how we are truly feeling on the inside. So that's why when I come across a person who is like very rude and bitter and like very mean, I actually pray for them, because I'm like, you're not okay in your heart space. If you were, you would be much more mannerable. You would be much more respectful. You wouldn't have just said what you just said. You know, so a lot of times I have mercy on people. You know, instead of snapping back on people or putting my 2 cents in. Like I've come to the understanding that when people act out, that's basically a cry for help. They're letting it be known, I am not okay in my heart space. You know? So, yeah, and also, hey, something that I was also talking to my, one of my older sisters about was the fact that I studied about our emotions, and something that I've realized and learned through study is that anger is not an actual emotion. It's not a primary emotion. That's like a secondary type of emotion, meaning that it's kind of like a cover-up, okay, behind what's really going on. You know, let's say for instance, most people, if they get their feelings hurt, they'll probably lash out, you know. But it's not because they're angry. That anger is just a cover-up. That's a defense mechanism. That's them trying to stand up for themselves. But the true emotion that's there is hurt. It's sadness. That person got their feelings hurt and they're trying to protect themselves with their anger, okay? So to some of my Scorpios with this strength card, you could be, you know, if you notice in your behavior that you're kind of being kind of outside of how you normally are, okay? It all ties back to your heart space, okay? Your heart is very important, you know? It's very important. Because something I've learned about the human body is that our heart, it pumps blood, it pumps oxygen through our blood. So if our heart is filled with the air of anger, all of that anger, it just pumps through our veins. It just pumps through all of it, you know? And that's very scary, Scorpio, because what about the people around us who have to deal with that anger? You know, what about the people around us who have to deal with us being snappy? What about the people around us who have to deal with us having trust issues? What about the people around us who have to deal with us being distant with them and withdrawn? What about them? You know, and that's something else that I've come to realize with, you know, like, if I don't want to heal for me, you know, what about the people around me? Like my daughters, for instance. They deserve to see a happy, smiling, and nice mother. They don't deserve a grumpy, agitated, and very snappy and impatient mom. They don't deserve that. So that was my extra motivation to heal my heart space and do what I have to do to confront this pain. You know? Because the thing is, Scorpio, if we're too prideful to do it for ourselves, we have to at least take into consideration the people around us, especially to my Scorpios who have children, like myself. Because I honestly thought to myself, like, it's alright that I got trust issues. It's okay that I'm withdrawn. You know, it works for me. But does it work for the people around me that I love? Does it work for my children? No. It's a convenience for me, but it's inconvenient for my daughters. It's inconvenient for anybody who truly loves me, who's trying to help me. You know? So that was my personal motivation, or extra motivation, to really heal my heart space, okay? Because if we don't heal this, everything around us is affected. Our work performance, the way we interact with people, the impression that we give off, the energy that we give off, Scorpio, which that's another really big thing. Because especially if we're trying to manifest like a new reality, or manifest money, or manifest good business partnerships, how can we do that, Scorpio, if we're giving off the energy that we don't trust anybody, or if we're giving off the energy that we're angry with the world? How can we attract the right partner? How can we attract our husband? How can we attract our wife? And that type of energy that we hate the world, you know? So if we are too prideful to do it for ourselves, Scorpio, we have to take into consideration the people around us who have to deal with the aftermath of us not healing this. We have to take into consideration the blessings that God is trying to bless us with, but how can we get blessed with them if we, you know, have our backs turned to it, you know? So Scorpio, I would just really advise you all to, you know, really tap in with yourself. Ask yourself, how am I doing? How am I feeling? This happened. How did it make me feel? Are these feelings still lingering around? Am I being honest with myself? Am I still hurting? Is this anger showing through my actions? Have I been more agitated lately? Have I been more irritated? Have I been more aggressive? Have I been more mean towards people? Have I been more rude? Like, has my behavior changed? You know, am I happy? Am I okay? You know, because with this strength card, it's letting me know that Scorpio, something happened to where you literally had to pick yourself up, and it's like you had to keep going. It's like you were committed to continue to go. And I understand that perspective, and it may have worked for you to, you know, get up and go. But what about now? Is it helping you now? Okay. Do you feel okay now? Are your energy levels okay now? You know? Do you have healthy relationships with the people around you? Are you more withdrawn? Okay? And a lot of times we don't truly like know what's going on with our heart space, okay? But you can always tell in our actions, okay? So once again, have I been more withdrawn? Have I been more snappy? Have I been more, you know? If we notice a change in our behavior, it all stems from right here, okay? So I'm gonna keep going, Scorpio, okay? All right. Yep, and right here we have the Four of Swords. This speaks all about healing, okay? Taking that time to really nurture ourselves, okay? Because Scorpio, after whatever you went through, darling, you deserve to be pampered. You deserve to be loved and cared for. And the perfect person to do that for you is yourself, okay? You have to seriously take that time out for yourself. Love yourself. Let yourself know, like, you know, I'm here. You know, let yourself know it's okay that you're still hurting. I'm here, you know. Okay, what else do we have for Scorpio? Okay, we have the Temperance card, okay. We also have the Two of Wands, okay. So yeah, it's a little bit of indecision going on here, okay. A little indecision going on here. And the Temperance card is all about kind of holding ourselves together, okay. Really holding ourselves together. And that's what I'm seeing that you're really working on, Scorpio. It's almost as if you're torn between, do I continue to hold myself together, or do I actually like deal with this situation, deal with how I feel, deal with confronting this person or confronting this situation, you know? Because it's like half of you is just like, okay, I'm just gonna continue to carry on, it is what it is. But another half of you is just like, you know, this still hurts. I want to talk about it. For some of you Scorpios, you realize do want to talk to the person that hurt you, okay? And I would just say, I don't think that's a bad idea as long as you're in the right energy. But yes, Scorpio, just know that your heart space is like extremely important, okay? And also with this Two of Wands and this Temperance, for some of you Scorpios, you could be contemplating on if you want to go through this process of healing sober or not, okay? Some of you could be debating on, you know, if you want to overindulge, and whether it's sex, partying, drugs, alcohol, or if you want to, you know, stay committed to your path of success or your path of healing and moving forward, okay? But to my Scorpios, if you are contemplating on if you want to do this process sober or not, do this process sober or not. I would just say, you know, I don't think anything is wrong with one every once in a while. I don't think anything is wrong with like if you do smoke weed, of course, like every once in a while. But Scorpios, if you guys are contemplating like overdoing it, if you are contemplating you know, just know that that would also affect your body. So it's like not only is your heart space affected, but if you're overindulging in, you know, drinking alcohol, things of that nature, that'll also, you know, poison your body, your bloodstream. Okay, so I would just say to be very careful with that as well. It's already bad that your heart space is affected. It's already bad enough that your heart space is affected. Okay, so if you decide to overindulge, you'll be messing your body up in that process. Okay, so I'll just say be very mindful, take that into consideration. Nothing's wrong with, you know, a couple drinks or a couple puffs. Okay, but if you're thinking about doing that to kind of like cope, I would just say be very careful with that, Scorpio. Okay, and also I would highly recommend for some of you, if you need to, like if you don't have a friend to go to or a family member, I would highly advise getting a therapist. I myself have a therapist. Okay, I feel like, honestly, I feel like everybody needs one. Okay, because one, your business with them is confidential. Okay, unless you're thinking about killing yourself or somebody else, and you know, that allows you private time away from work, away from your children, away from family and friends, to be alone with a professional who is there to listen to you. Okay, so I would just say, and with this strength card, this could actually speak of pride and ego, Scorpio. Okay, so for a lot of you, you may be, you know, torn between, should I get help or should I just turn to my bottle, or should I get therapy, or should I just turn to drugs, you know? And if you're coming to me for advice, Scorpio, I would most definitely say, you know, to choose help and to choose therapy, choose the highway. Okay, choose religion or choose your spirituality. Okay, but yeah, I do see that you're kind of debating on if you want to take the light path or the dark path. You know, but of course you want to take the light path, but this darkness in your heart is causing you to think that you want to associate more with the darkness and go down a dark path. But Scorpio, that's not going to make you feel any better. You know, that's not going to make you feel any better. And if you're surrounding yourself with more darkness, it'll be hard to see clearly the darkness that's in your heart. But if you're surrounded by light, your darkness, it will be easier to see. Hey! But yeah, if you're surrounded by light, it'll be much easier to see your darkness. And what I mean by that, Scorpio, okay, the darkness in your heart, let's say for instance, if it has turned into anger. If you're surrounding yourself with other angry people, which I would say that's taking the darker path, it will be harder for you to see your own anger, because you would be so overwhelmed with their anger, and you know, it would look normal in that case scenario. A bunch of angry people, you know, you wouldn't see your anger as a problem because there's other people who's angry. But if you get around people who are more peaceful, calm, who are healing, that would shine light on your anger, your pain, your hurt, so you would know what you need to work on or heal and work through, you know. So yeah, I see that you have two paths here, Scorpio. Okay, for some of you, it's almost as if this situation has kind of robbed you of your hope and your optimism through life and your positive point of view. It's like it may have taken that from you. So that may be why you're considering getting off track or getting off this path of light or success. Okay, if you are on the right path right now and thinking about getting off of it, you know. Some of you could be losing your motivation here, because this darkness inside of you is starting to spread, and it's only spreading, Scorpio, because a lot of you are not actually confronting it. Okay? Because back again to the movie Moana, she didn't turn back into herself, which is a very beautiful and blossoming and healthy island, until her heart was restored. And right now I see some Scorpios who right now your heart is damaged. Right now your heart space is filled with darkness, you know. And I know you probably don't want to see that. You don't want to hear that because you have this strength part right here beside the Hierophant. You're committed to moving forward. You're committed to work. You're committed to saying that you're okay. And I know that you don't want to hear that that pain is still here. I know you don't want to hear that that anger is still here. I know you don't want to hear that. But because I love you, and also because I'm a tarot reader, I have to be honest with you and let you know what I see. And what I see is some Scorpios who you're trying to just get up and continue on. You're trying to hold on this persona that everything is okay. You're trying to carry on with life. You're trying to take the high road. And I'm all for you, Scorpio. But just know that your heart space is going to affect you wherever you go. You can move 10 states from here. But if you have not actually healed from this situation, all this darkness is going to do is just follow you wherever you go. And a lot of you may have noticed that, and that may be why you're contemplating taking a dark path. Because it's like this darkness is following me everywhere. Why not give into it? Why not drink more? Why not do drugs more? Why not? You know? So a lot of you may have reached that point where it's just like you just don't care anymore because it's following you everywhere. But it's only following you everywhere, Scorpio, because it's trying to call out to you like, Scorpio, I need your attention. I need your nurturing. I need your love. That's your heart crying out to you, Scorpios. You know? Some of you could have even been having like dreams of this catching up to you. It could come in like the form of like demons or monsters or like scary things or people chasing you. Okay, that's this darkness trying to catch up with you to let you know like, hey, it's time to confront me. It's time to deal with me, you know. But the more you run away from it, Scorpio, which you're not trying to run away from it, you're trying to carry on. But in the process, if you can't... Listen, it's a spider. Okay, I'll get it, okay? I'm gonna get it. Good job, baby. But yes, Scorpio, I don't see that you guys are trying to run away from your problems. I see that you're trying to carry on. Okay, and I fully support you, Scorpio, and I encourage you and I motivate you to keep going. But with this Two of Pentacles, it speaks of balance, okay? So while you are carrying on with your life, I would just really suggest that you guys really pay attention to your heart space in the process, okay? Because if you don't deal with this darkness, because if you don't deal with this darkness in your heart space, Scorpio, it's gonna follow you wherever you go, okay? It's gonna just follow you, okay? And a lot of you, whenever it does follow you, it can make you feel really down, like what's the point of me continuing on anyway? You know, I would just say, Scorpio, to continue to keep going, okay? Because with this Two of Wands, it's like, should I continue to keep going on or should I just give in to this, you know? And I would say, you know, to you can do both, Scorpio, but it would have to be a balanced approach. You know, it's all about moderation here. We can't focus too much on moving forward, and we also can't give into the darkness too much. You know, it's like we have to really balance the two. You know, yes, continue with our goals, yes, continue to move forward, but also take time with our darkness and our hearts to let it know that we see it, you know, but not to feed into it too much, okay, because that will lead to us going down a very dark path, you know, if all we think about is the pain and anger and sadness, okay. So it's like continue to progress, but also, you know, take time to, you know, stop, look at the pain and go let it know, like, okay, I see you, I hear you, I'm right here, I'm working on, you know, I'm working on soothing you, and then continue to press forward, okay. It's kind of like, imagine if you're walking in a desert, like with a child, you know, of course you'll continue to walk, but you'll stop for a minute and give that child water, you know, make sure the child is, you know, fed, and then, you know, y'all will continue walking on, okay. So it's kind of like you have to do the same thing with yourself here, Scorpio, okay. So yes, continue to perform well on your job, yes, continue to, you know, exercise and work out and eat healthy, but also make sure you're taking that time out occasionally to, you know, sit down with yourself. Hey, hush. Here. But yeah, also take that time to sit down with yourself and ask yourself, like, okay, how are we doing this week? Are we still feeling that anger a little bit this week? Are we still thinking about this person of the past this week? Are we still carrying this sorrow this week? You know, just really checking in with yourself, Scorpio, okay? And mind you, I did say to make sure that, you know, you do it in moderation, okay? Because something that I've learned from my therapist is that if we sit to ourselves for too long thinking about our pain and trauma and all of this, that actually does make it worse, okay? It does make it worse. So, you know, like I said, continue to move forward, continue to take your baby steps forward, but occasionally, Scorpio, be sure that you're, you know, checking in with yourself, okay? That's what I'll call it. Check in with yourself, okay? Ask yourself, like, you know, are we okay? How are we feeling? Okay? And if you do feel that sadness or that anger, you know, also asking yourself, like, okay, shut up. Here, get your cookies. Yeah. But yeah, and if you are feeling, but yeah. But yeah, and if you do notice that anger or that sadness and that grief, you know, also asking yourself, like, okay, what's the source of this? Like, what am I thinking about? Who am I thinking about? Okay? And really get to the root of it. And once you allow yourself to feel that emotion and cry those tears, that's when you pick yourself up and you continue moving forward until that darkness visits you again. You just confront it head on each time it, you know, taps on your shoulder. Each time you feel sadness tapping on your shoulder, you know, look back at it, nurture it, let it know, okay, I see you, I see what the cause is, you know, what can I do to soothe you? What can I do to make you feel better, okay? Because like on the day that you feel your sadness, like let's say you're working really hard on your job and then you feel a little sadness creeping. You know, you confront it like, okay, I'm sad. I'm thinking about one of my loved ones who have passed. Okay, do I need to cry or do I just need to go eat some ice cream? You know, like what do I need to do to make myself feel better right now so that I can continue to move forward? Okay? So, yeah, Scorpio, this looks like a really good reading here, okay? I'm going to check out a likely outcome here. So yeah, y'all's video is gonna be much longer than everybody else's, okay? Because surprisingly, I have been forgetting to do y'all's reading. I don't know why, out of all the zodiac signs, okay? Y'all probably didn't want to hear my mouth during that time, did y'all? So alright, we're gonna see what else we have for you, Scorpio, okay? Hey. Leah. Hey. Leah. Alright, y'all stay in here. Watch Curious George. Alright, Scorpio, so we're gonna see what else we have here for you, okay? So yeah, it's almost as if, Scorpios, you have to question in your mind, like, do I continue to move forward, or do I just, you know, give into the past or give into my heart space, you know? But honestly, both. But you have to do both in moderation. We can't just move forward and neglect our heart space, and we can't just also focus on our heart space and forget to move forward. Okay? So it's like you get a chance to do both, Scorpio, okay? You like Cardi B, you don't want to choose. Okay? So you can be committed to success and committed to your growth and also heal in the process, you know? Because if we focus too much on our heart space in the past, we hold ourselves back from moving forward. And if we also just move forward without confronting our heart space, but yeah, and if we also just move forward, hey, get off the table, baby. But yeah, if we also move forward without, you know, confronting our heart space, all that does is cause it to, you know, affect our performance in the future, okay? So, both are very important, progress and moving forward and healing, okay? Alright, sorry y'all, I keep having to check on my daughters. Okay? So yeah, you do both, Scorpio, okay? And to my Scorpios, if you're thinking about, like, you know, drugs and alcohol, sex, party and stuff like that, I don't think anything is wrong with anything, but as long as it's in moderation, okay? If you need to puff a little bit every now and then, okay? If you need to drink a glass of wine every once and now and again, you know, I don't see anything wrong with that, Scorpio, as long as we're not overdoing it, okay? Alright, so what else do we have for my lovely Scorpios, okay? Okay, we have the Moon card, okay? So yeah, this speaks of, you know, things that we keep hidden, things we keep suppressed, okay? So once again, it's all about your heart space, Scorpio, okay? A lot of you could be keeping it to yourself how you feel, or really even keeping it from yourself how you feel, okay? Could have been so committed to, what? Okay, hold on. So yeah, you could be so committed to moving forward, Scorpio, that it's like you completely tucked down how you felt, okay? Because look at her, okay? She is submerged underwater, and it's like she's trying to hide from the moon, or trying to hide from this wolf, okay? And notice that you have the dark wolf and you have the light wolf, okay? You know how we're talking about the dark path and the light path, okay? So yeah, you don't have to really choose, because one thing about it, most people, they are afraid of darkness and things of that nature, but our darkness is our hidden secrets. That's our pain, our anger, and we do have to confront that darkness so that we can, you know, embrace our light when it gets here. You know, it's a balanced approach. You know, it's very balanced. We can't just embrace the positivity and rainbows and ponies, because life is not always like that. Sometimes life is, you know, grief, sorrow, the death of a loved one, or divorce, breakup, okay? So it's all about a perfect balance, Scorpio, okay? It's all about the perfect balance, you know. I know a lot of people in today's society, we're just taught to put up the face that we're okay and, you know, things of that nature. Which to me, I don't think anything is wrong with putting up the representation that you're okay, as long as you're being honest with yourself. Like when you go home and you look in the mirror and you allow yourself to cry, allow yourself to journal, because that's honestly what I do, you know. I'm okay in public, but when I come home, this is my sanctuary. This is where I allow myself to break down and cry, and, you know. So I don't mind lying to other people, telling them I'm okay, because I really don't like people being in my business, you feel me? But when I'm trying to help somebody else out, I do share my own situation to let them know they're not alone, okay? But when I come home, I'm very honest with myself. You know, if I'm still hurting about something, I let that be known to myself. If I'm still angry or butthurt over something, I let that be known to myself. I get to the nitty-gritty of it, you know. I might not talk about all the details with somebody else unless it's my therapist, but I'm very open and blunt and honest with myself, you know. So Scorpio, if you're putting up this strong face to other people, I don't think anything's wrong with it. I don't think anything's wrong with you telling people, yeah, I'm fine, everything's all right. But if you're telling that to yourself and you're lying to yourself, okay, that's the part that I'm worried about, okay? We have to always be honest with ourselves, always, even if that honesty is very uncomfortable, okay? We have to be very honest with ourselves so that we can form a proper relationship with ourselves. Because how can we get into a relationship or marriage with somebody else and be honest with them or demand honesty out of them if we can't even be honest with ourselves and let ourselves know I'm still hurting, I'm still angry? You know, it starts with us, Scorpio. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups, okay, and we also have the Hangman in reverse. Okay, so for some of my Scorpios, you're thinking about getting back into the dating scene, okay, or you have an offer popping up to you and you're interested in taking that offer, okay. But with the Strength card here and the Hierophant beside it, you could be hesitating a little bit. You could be torn between, like, do I take this offer? Do I continue to heal, continue to focus on myself, you know? But I would just say use your own discretion in that situation, Scorpio. I'm a firm believer that it's okay to not get in a relationship while you're still healing, but be in the talking stages with them while you're still healing, okay? You don't have to completely just shut this person off, okay? They could still be friends, okay? Or just talk. But that's if you're comfortable with that. And if you feel like you need your space, Scorpio, because of what you went through, okay? If you feel like you need space, I say take that space, okay? And a lot of you could be questioning, like, am I ready to deal with anybody else? Am I ready to accept their offer? Or should I just, you know, stay to myself, okay? I feel like you can still deal with them, but not take their offer, but also not neglect your healing process, okay? So once again, it's a very flexible thing. Like, you can do both. You can do both, Scorpio, and still be in the talking phases of get to know them and still heal. Does that mean you have to commit to them? No. You know, I would say don't make a commitment if you don't feel ready, if you still feel like you haven't healed from here, okay? And for some of my Scorpios with this High Priestess in reverse, you could be telling yourself, like, I'm not ready for this, but you're taking this offer anyway. And to my Scorpios doing that, I would just say be very careful with that. I don't know if y'all ever hurt people. But Scorpio, if you're not okay in your heart space, okay? If you're not okay right here and you try to deal with somebody else, one thing a lot of people don't realize, which I didn't realize myself, is if our mind is still on another person, or if they have taken a part of our heart, or it feels like that, and we try to deal with somebody else, the next person is not able to get the full version of us. They're only able to get the parts of us that are not broken. They're only able to get the pieces of ourselves that we were able to muster up from this person of the past. You know, and that's not really fair to that person, because they won't have our full hearts. They won't have our full attention, because we still have healing that needs to take place. You know, so to my Scorpios, if you have recently taken an offer from somebody and you know you're not okay, I would just say be very, 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 very careful with that, Scorpio, okay? I would say to also communicate with them that you're still kind of in the process of healing from this situation in the past. They need to know that, okay? Instead of them thinking that you're okay and that you're ready for commitment and stuff like that, okay? Because a lot of mistakes that we make in the dating game, we put out the impression that we're okay, but really we still have baggage, we still have emotional trauma that we have not dealt with, and it affects the next relationship, you know, because we carry that pain with us, and that's not fair to the new person at all, okay? So Scorpios, I would just say, you know, it's okay to, you know, talk to another person while you're still dealing with this pain and healing, but as far as committing to another person and diving into another relationship while you're still healing from the past person, I would just say to be very careful with that, Scorpio, okay? Because something else that I realized is if we're not okay emotionally, we don't truly see things clearly. So if you were dealing with somebody in the past, Scorpio, who was manipulative, and you're still attracted to that person of the past, and you're attracted to this new person, 9 times out of 10 you're attracted to the same qualities, meaning you're attracting the same type of person that you're getting away from. So if you're not fully healed, Scorpio, a person can smell that, okay? And most narcissists or manipulative people, once they see that a person is broken down, they're very attracted to people like that. So I would just say to be very careful, Scorpio, okay? Yeah, because if we don't fully heal from the past person and they were toxic, we tend to attract again a person that's just like that, okay? So Scorpios, I would just say be very careful during this time when it comes to dating, okay? I'm not saying that you are dealing with somebody who's like the person of the past, but when we go through these dark spells, we look for comfort, we look for companionship, we look for love, and it's kind of like whatever person ends up popping up during that time period, if we're not keeping control of ourselves, we tend to latch onto that person, okay? And that actually creates codependent relationships, very toxic relationships, okay? So Scorpio, if you're gonna deal with somebody, I would just say to make sure you are okay. Nothing's wrong with talking to them during this phase and letting them know that you're healing and not to expect much from you. But if you are committing to somebody, Scorpio, or thinking about committing to somebody while you're still carrying this around with you, I would just say to be very careful with that, Scorpio, okay? Because if we still have darkness in our hearts, that will affect our relationships coming up next, okay? And yeah, so that's all that I have for you, Scorpio. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. My daughters, they're both crying, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tend to my little ones. I hope this was a very big help to you in your situation. I pray that this brought you clarity, comfort, guidance, or confirmation, whatever you needed from this video. I pray that you received it. And yeah, I'll let you guys go. I love you dearly. Until next time, toodles!